everybody. We are back for our last college
football video
of the season. It is 2023, so
of the season.
So we get to come back in August and talk some more college football. But it's time to go 8 months without college football.
And 8 months without seeing you guys on this channel.
8 months without, yeah.
At least for college football stuff.
But what we're going to do, we're going to jump in and recap the bowl games for the top 25 teams that played just for a little fun. And just sort of talk about maybe a little bit about what's happened and maybe a little bit about what's coming next year for it. But we'll jump right in. Our first bowl game of the year with ranked opponents, we're only going to talk about the ones who had ranked opponents, was the Duluth Trading Cure Bowl. I don't think I've heard of that one before. The Duluth Bowl. It's University of Texas San Antonio versus Troy. That was a barn burner, 18 to 12.
That was a bit of a barn burner, yeah. But
18 to 12.
The Troy Trojans finished the year at 12-2.
How about that? Not that bad of a...
They finished 5-7 last year.
I mean, who would have guessed the Alabama team to be good?
Troy
is in Alabama, so
sure.
Yeah.
Who would expect?
We had our first top 15 ranked team was number 14 Oregon taking on Florida.
Oregon State,
and a beatdown.
That was a They drug the Gators to the back of their dam and just beat the crap out of them with wood.
They beat the crap out of them.
The Beavers are 10-3.
The Beavers are 10-3, and Florida
is 6-7.
Looks pretty bad. Yeah.
Their recruiting situation ain't going too hot for them either.
No, as of today, they actually lost a 4-star quarterback recruit too. He has to be released from his letter. So a little bit of turmoil still going on in Florida. They're still trying to find themselves.
But Oregon State, on the other hand,
and Tennessee years, you're about 3 years in, and about 7 more to go before you get better. It took us 10 years to find ourselves. So
on the other hand, Oregon State is doing very well. They can build off this season that was a good success.
Yeah, they had a good, successful
10-3,
season.
you can't complain.
10-3. Anytime you get a 10-win season, first time they've had a 10-win season
in a long time.
Long time. So congrats to
the Beavers.
To the Oregon State Beavers. And then our next ranked game jumped quite a few days up until we had Oregon, which is another top 15 team. Number 15, Oregon, played North Carolina. And this was actually a really good game. 28-27. North Carolina had a chance to win it there, but
fell short.
Fell a little short there at the end.
And Oregon finishes with another good season under their belt.
Yeah, North Carolina was up for quite some time there. And
Oregon
I actually thought that they were going to win. But then, Oregon just flexed a little bit. It would have been a great win for North Carolina. Mac sort of needed it a little bit, but they did a lot better than what people thought they were going to do after the bad year North Carolina had last year. So, but congrats to Oregon.
Another 10-win season under their belt. How many years have they had a 10-win season? I
don't remember the last time they didn't have a 10-win season. I don't know, really. Then we'll jump on down to the Cheez-It Bowl.
Yes, the Cheez-It.
I always loved the Cheez-It Bowl. It was Oklahoma, Florida State, a pretty good game.
One program is trying to get back to relevance, and
Oregon,
Florida State.
Yeah, Oregon played better than I thought they would, though. I mean, they've had a tough year. Their cupboards were bare. It was almost like, when...
You're talking about Florida State?
Yeah, Florida State. No, Oklahoma's cupboards were sort of bare.
You mentioned Oregon, and we already covered Oregon.
I was supposed to say Oklahoma's what I meant. Oklahoma's cupboards were bare.
Yeah,
when
Lincoln Riley
left,
there,
and he took
everything.
He took the kitchen sink with him. So I mean, Oklahoma. Then they only lost 32-35. So I think Oklahoma played pretty good. I mean, they still didn't win, but they were respectful after the sort of iffy year that they had.
And Florida State.
Congrats
to the Seminoles for their first 10-win season since 2016.
Yeah, so their first 10-win season in 6 years, so that was really good. Right after that, we had the Texas Longhorns at the Washington Huskies.
Will they ever be back? Will Texas ever be back?
They probably will when the new Manning gets there. I haven't seen him play. I don't think hardly anybody's seen him play out of 2 or 3 high school games.
I've been hearing every year how Texas is back. Texas is back. Year 1, Texas is back. Year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. It's like consecutive.
No. Texas. Now, I don't, honestly, I think when the new Manning kid gets down there, it'll probably take him a couple of years too. Maybe the first year they get into the SEC, they might be a better team. Maybe next year,
The SEC does that to you.
the SEC makes you a better team, just because. But congrats
Washington.
to Washington. How many wins did they win up here? They had 10 or 11 too.
12,
12
or 11 or 12 wins. They got 11 and 2.
11
record.
and 2.
With their first year head coach, Kalen DeBoer, takes them to a 11 and 2 record.
That
in
was
his
really
first
good
year.
because Washington's not known as an 11 win program.
In the past, they were, but not in recent years. No.
No.
But
So
they are 11
congrats
and 2 to
and
Huskies
the Pac-12 3-0
in our coverage.
in our coverage so far. Not too bad. And next we had
Probably one of the most lopsided games in this entire bowl slate.
we had the number 6 Tennessee Volunteers.
Beat up on
Our
Clemson.
team really bullied them. It was more of a bully than it was
That wasn't really
a
competitive.
beat down.
At
No,
some point, it wasn't competitive.
that new hotshot freshman quarterback ran for his life.
There was no offensive line for him.
Beasley came in, I think sacked him 3 times in the first half.
That was from a linebacker. They couldn't cover a linebacker blitz.
No, he came in there and just hammered him. I don't
Joe
know.
Milton performed well enough in this game.
Only one noticeable overthrow.
He would have had in the past. He would have had like 4 or 5.
Hallelujah. Amen.
Hallelujah.
Because Tennessee, honestly, I'm really happy of this win. I'm not shocked by the win because we've got the talent, but I was a little worried about the win because we lost our offensive coordinator Golish, went to UCF.
South Florida.
Our starting quarterback got injured, was out. Our top 2 wide receivers opted out for the NFL, get ready for the NFL. Our starting middle linebacker opted
And we
out.
still won by 17.
And we still won by 17. So that's
a culture building win.
That's a culture. That is. That's a.
Put yourself out there win.
That was a.
When you beat Dabo Sweeney. In
I'm
the
a
bowl
Tennessee.
game.
I'm a Tennessee fan, and when you bully the Clemson, we bullied them, dude. We pushed them around like the little kid on the playground. When you bully somebody like that, of course, if that.
I don't think Klubnik's jersey is gonna have those stains.
No,
washed out.
I guarantee they had to get a new one. He was beat down by the end of that game. Yeah.
But Tennessee's offense performed well enough.
Mm-hmm.
Joey Halsell comes in as the OC. He'll be the OC going forward.
Yeah.
He did well. He scored 31 points on Clemson.
Yeah, but people keep saying, well, they missed 3 field goals. Well, if I had those 3 field goals, we'd still beat them by 8. It ain't like those 3 field goals would have won the game for them.
Yeah.
So we really bullied them around, beat them up.
Clemson had another 11-win season, but I guess their offensive coordinator had to pay the price.
Somebody had to pay the price for them not winning their bowl game, so they fired their offensive coordinator. Out he goes. But hey, I guess
Tennessee finishes an 11-2 record. You know how long it's been since the Vols have had an 11-win season?
21 years.
2001.
So 22 years if you go to the bowl game year.
After all these years of having to sit it out, I finally feel rewarded.
Yes.
Finally,
This is where Tennessee was. It ain't like we're the surprise. This is where we were for 20, 30 years. So it's nice to see us back there again. It's nice to be able. It's nice to hear people get mad at us because we're happy.
But congratulations to the Tennessee Volunteers on
Go
a
Vols.
11-2 season.
Fantastic. All right, right after that, we had the Duke's Mayo Bowl, Maryland and NC State. NC State ranked 23rd. Lost, so we had an upset there. Maryland won 16-12.
Upside, you win the bowl game.
Downside,
you get covered
you
with
get a
mayonnaise.
bath and mayonnaise. Oh, I couldn't stand that. Oh, no.
You get to taste victory, and it tastes like mayo.
That would be. I would probably throw the game at the end just so I wouldn't care. I want to win it. Oh, what? You're up 41-10 at halftime. How'd you lose 42-41? Because I'm not getting doused in mayonnaise. I've actually seen them in the past where the head coach had some of the assistant coaches do it because he wasn't done it. But yeah. Hey, congrats to Maryland though. Maryland finished out with a good bowl win. We had Pitt at UCLA for our second upset. UCLA number
on the
18.
Sun Bowl upset.
Yeah. Pitt, we thought, Pitt, we played Pitt earlier this year, Tennessee. We knew Pitt was good because we saw them when Tennessee played them. It was close. It wasn't a blowout game. And the way Tennessee blew teams out this year, Pitt was good. We knew they were good.
And they beat UCLA at the very last second.
37-35 in the Tony the Tiger Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Arr.
They're great.
Yep. That was actually a pretty good game.
And Pitt wins game number 9 of the year. So they're 9-4 and in the top 25 again to finish the year.
To finish the year, yep. After that, we had number 21, Notre Dame, and number 19, South Carolina.
I remember how much time South Carolina fans were focused on talking trash to Tennessee and Clemson rather than playing the
I
game.
think the coach and the players, I think they won their Super Bowl when they beat Clemson there at the end. Notre Dame took it to them pretty good. They tried to play.
But Notre Dame just had their hand at the end of the game, especially.
Now, South Carolina did announce that their starting quarterback and best wide receiver are coming back next year. So they're going to try to have that punch next year. They're going to try to punch it through next year. And I'm glad they're coming back. I want to see exactly how good they really are. Because they looked pretty bad for 3/4 of the year. And then at the end of the year, they
turned it into a fiery hot chicken.
They come on. So I would really like to see which team are they? Are they
what are the Gamecocks?
Are they the team that started out horrible, or are they the team that finished pretty good? So I'm really curious to see that. Plus, I'm really anxious to see South Carolina in Tennessee this year because the game is in
Knoxville,
Neyland Stadium.
I wonder if there's going to be any chicken served there.
Oh, I guarantee you, there will be fried chicken served all game long.
Just like Notre Dame served fried chicken.
Every tailgate will be fried chicken, baby.
That would actually be nice to eat.
Yeah. Oh, but congratulations to Notre Dame on finishing out the season strong.
9-4 after a rough start.
They had a struggle starting out, so it's always good again to see a team
9-4
turn around. Yeah,
after an 0-2, 0-3 start.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good ending.
It is, yeah. All right, we jump into
some of the
Saturday.
cream of the crop.
Yep, another one of the New Year's Six, Alabama, K-State.
Alabama just rolled all over them.
Yeah, Tennessee beat the ACC champion pretty easily.
And
Alabama beat the Big 12 champion
very easily.
Pretty easily, yeah.
Bryce Young's last game, what do you expect Bryce Young to do? He throws touchdowns.
I'm not an Alabama fan because I'm a Tennessee fan. But dang it if Bryce Young ain't good.
He's good.
I mean, he's good. Now that he ain't going to be there anymore, he's good. He was really good. Man, he's good. So I'm glad to see he's going to the NFL. My goodness, he's good. Congratulations to the Crimson Tide.
Another 11-win year, which is the 13th in the last 14
years. They got snubbed from the Final Four. They took Ohio State instead of Alabama. And I think Nick Saban was wanting to prove, maybe we should have been there. Maybe
we'd give Georgia a little more competition later on.
Maybe. So we'll just go ahead and take this Big 12 champion and beat the living crap out of them. So, and I think Tennessee sort of did the same thing. You were like, oh, you think we're the South Carolina lost team? That's who we are.
Beat up on Clemson.
So let's completely skunk
Clemson.
Let's completely skunk Vanderbilt, and then let's go into our bowl game and beat the crap out of the ACC champ. So the SEC clobbered the ACC champ and the Big 12 champ, and the number 2 Big 12 team and the number 2 Big 10 team. So
that's enough boasting about the conference. We need to focus on.
We crushed. Anyways, congratulations. And then we had TCU, Michigan in our
Fiesta Bowl.
In our first playoff game.
The Fiesta Bowl is usually very entertaining.
And it was, man.
And it's the first of our 2 college football playoff games.
Everybody thought that TCU was going to get bullied. I did not, to be honest. I knew TCU was a pretty good team. But all of the Big Ten puffers Michigan's just going to line up and run right over them, and that's going to be the end of the game, And I think TCU took that to heart, just a little bit. Since it's the first thing they mentioned after the game when they beat them is, maybe we're better than what people said we were. So TCU outplayed Michigan. Honestly, that was one of the best games
of the bowl season.
Whole bowl. That was a fantastic game.
TCU had 2 pick sixes, a bunch of yards on offense. It was Michigan tried to come back there, but Harbaugh, I can't forget how Harbaugh, he had 3 minutes.
And then didn't call timeout. I was like,
Let the clock run
you saw
and run and run.
His
and
dad
run
was
and
up in the
run.
stands. He stood up and went, call a timeout.
You had how many timeouts did he have?
How many of them did he have at the end of the game in his pocket? Because he didn't use them. He didn't use them.
And TCU was driving. Why would you not use a timeout?
I don't know. Conserve some time.
The
But
Horned Frogs in their first college football playoff game get a victory.
congratulations to the first-year coach, too. I mean, that was
Sonny Dykes
that
and
was
the Frogs.
Now, I'm not going to say that they were a super team because they won a lot of games by rushing out and getting that last second field goal. They won a lot of games on the last second play, last minute drive. They won a lot of close games, but
to be fair, that does help you.
they won them. That's what matters.
They won the games.
They won the game, so that they earned their spot.
And besides, I really like their mascot and
Yeah.
name.
If you ask me if I think they were one of the 4 best teams in the country, no, not really.
But they were better than Michigan.
They were better than Michigan, and Michigan was number 2.
So they
That's why I'm really looking forward. Not this season, but the next season we're starting the 12-team playoff.
not this next season, but the year after that.
Now, so we're really looking forward because when they do that, I'll take a quick one to explain how it will work. With 12 teams, the first 4 get a bye. So you have number 5 through number 12 playing each other. 5, 12, it adds up to 17. 5, 12, and so on. And then after that, you'll have 8 teams left over. And then you'll have number 1 playing the low. It's sort of like football, sort of like the NFL. So when that's over, you should really know who the champion is.
I
Now,
don't know why they didn't do that when it started.
now somebody could slip up and beat a team they shouldn't, and you got to be prepared for that. But you should still have a more quality championship game than what we've had lately. The Georgia TCU championship game, we'll talk about here in a second. Halfway through the first quarter.
Let's focus on the next college football playoff.
Which is Ohio State, Georgia. Ohio State had that one won too. Georgia's offensive linemen, a couple of them actually admitted
they were slow.
we didn't really
plan
for this.
We didn't really plan for that game.
We didn't practice that well.
We didn't practice that well. We didn't really play well, and it showed on the field when they were down 15.
And Georgia done that 2 or 3 times during the regular season. This wasn't a first time thing. Missouri was winning at halftime. Missouri
Was winning at halftime.
Was winning at halftime. And Missouri is bad. So Georgia has a tendency of not getting up against teams that they think they're better than. They've got a little bit of the "I'm better than you."
And Ohio State kind of took advantage of some of that.
I don't need to get ready for you. I'm just naturally better. And Ohio State's a
took
better.
advantage of the complacency.
They did.
But their complacency went away as soon as the fourth quarter started.
As soon as the fourth quarter started, and Georgia looked up and said, "Dang, if we don't have to do something, we're going to lose." So they did something.
And Ohio State,
they choked it
that
away.
game,
They were ahead by 15 really with what? It was under 4 minutes.
and Ryan Day, he had called and set up like a sweep, a fake punt. That was
the timeout heard around the world.
that Kirby Smart timeout, one of the best timeout calls.
If they would have gotten the first down with that fake field goal, game over. Ohio State would have won. That's that might be the best timeout in the history of college football.
That was such a I'll give Kirby Smart credit for that.
He knew what was coming. He felt it coming. No. Saved him.
But Georgia, Stetson Bennett, although he's a bit controversial in the way that people perceive him, he led a game-winning drive there at the end.
Yeah,
to defeat
I'm
them.
really interested in I'm really interested to see him in the NFL now. Again, Georgia's such a talented team, and he's put in such a good situation that I don't know how good he really is, and we really won't know until he gets to the NFL and he's put to the test, you know. But I'm anxious to see what he does, because Georgia's only had one really good quarterback in the NFL. Lately, and that's Matthew Stafford.
I will give credit.
I do like Matthew Stafford.
I'll give credit to the Buckeyes for fighting here.
Yeah, they honestly should have been beat by 20 points, and they came in with that chip on their shoulder, and they played a tough game.
But this loss does cost them. Their offensive coordinator did leave
Mm-hmm.
to be the head coach at Tulsa, I believe.
Yep. See, also Ohio State's having to revamp again.
Yep.
Of course, they lost their starting quarterback too.
To the draft as well.
To the
So
draft as well, and their starting wide receiver. There's no way Marvin Harrison Jr. comes back.
after that year he had.
No, there's no way. So, but anyways, we had a few more filler games. We had Mississippi State, Illinois, number 22 Mississippi State.
I would have hated to be in Illinois spot.
Mm-hmm. They were fighting it. I mean, that was a feisty game. But after Mike Leach passing away suddenly,
There was no way Mississippi State was going to lose.
I don't think there's no way that they were going to lose. So they were going to do anything they needed to, and I'm glad they did win. Again, I'm not a Mississippi State fan, but they're not. I don't hate them. So
Their
I'm
defensive
glad that they
coordinator got
won.
promoted to head coach, and
Yeah.
they finished the year 9-4.
Yeah, which is very good record. We had Tulane, USC in the middle of that, and another.
This kind of felt like, you know what karma is like?
Yes.
You know what Caleb Williams painting all that junk on his fingers?
now.
Like,
And then,
like a profanity, like insert
Yeah.
profane word here, and the opponent he's playing on the others.
yeah,
I mean,
that was classy. Let's make him our husband. That's
And
why
then-
the husband's a joke.
so the story is USC had a good lead on the entire game. They were
Mhm.
at 15 points with 3 minutes left in the fourth, and they
Oh, they blew it. They blew it. Oh, they
blew it so bad.
So bad. It was so bad.
It was
yeah.
such a choke that I thought, man, I don't think there's going to be a worse choke than this.
We were like, what? There's no way Tulane's going to win. And then touchdown, screw up, touchdown. What, safety?
I mean, the guy, like, the ball bounced off his hands at the 1. He tried to catch it at the 1.
And then a safety?
And then that team got a safety and then punted it back to Tulane, touchdown. And then Tulane gets it again, touchdown. USC's defense is garbage. We know they're garbage. And their
Yeah.
fan base knows they are garbage.
Yes. Mhm.
And Tulane proved it to us that their defense was garbage.
Their defense is horrible.
And they're going to keep the defensive coordinator because...
I don't know. I couldn't tell you why. But, yeah, it's a little... Honestly, I'm definitely not a USC fan. Boo. And it's a little poetic justice. I mean, lost the last 2 games, lost the championship to USC, and then lost your bowl game.
Wah, wah, wah.
We had LSU Purdue. Dang. 63 to...
Talk about some gumbo. Served up some Louisiana-style seasoned chicken.
I think after Tennessee kicked the crap out of LSU, that turned their season, man. They should be happy we beat them. Because something snapped right there in them, and they went on a tear. They didn't lose a game after it, did
They
they?
only lost like one game.
One game after, I
in
think.
the regular season.
Yeah.
Their only loss to them was Georgia.
Yeah.
That was,
They lost to us and Georgia.
well, unless you count Texas A&M, but
Oh, yeah, but Texas, you never know what Texas A&M's going to do. But they're 63 to 7.
63-7. They were up so bad that Drew Brees was coaching Purdue on the sidelines. I think he turned his head away at some point.
I think he did, yeah.
I mean, that was ugly.
That was bad, ugly. But congrats to the
LSU is
Tigers.
the Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
10-4 season for
10-4.
LSU. Back to where they should be.
Yep. And they started out rough, so that was a good turnaround, too. We had number 11 Penn State at number 8 Utah in the Rose Bowl.
The granddaddy of them all, the legendary bowl game that everybody likes to.
Utah actually looked like they were going to beat Penn State pretty easily, and then their starting quarterback got hurt.
And everything just crumbled from there.
And he is the team. That quarterback that was on Utah is the team. The same thing, bad thing, the same thing happened last year in their bowl game. He got hurt early and then missed the bowl game. He got hurt early here, and they really did look like they were going to give Penn State a good beating. And after that, they were done.
And
They
then,
just did. They
not
were
to
done.
mention, how silly am I to forget Big Game James.
Big game, Jane.
We need to get a shirt.
We got to get a shirt for that. Yeah.
But Big Game James and Penn State finishes 11-2 again.
11-2. But they didn't play anybody. I mean, Utah was their best win of the year. It's their only ranked win of the year. How can you be ranked top 10 and you only have one ranked win.
And their best two teams they played, Michigan and Ohio State, they lost by double digits.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, congrats to Big Game.
James and the Nittany Lions.
Yeah. And then we had our championship game, if you want to call it that, 65-7.
My gosh. Georgia mercilessly kicked the crap out of them.
Georgia took Ohio State lightly and almost lost, and then
They didn't take TCU lightly.
they were like, dude. So yeah, they came in there to prove who they were and what they were, and
what they are is 2 straight national championships.
yes.
George, do you think the Georgia Bulldogs are a future dynasty?
I don't know. We'll really find out this year because they're losing their quarterback, their star tight end, and a bunch of other players. Last year they lost defensive players, not really the offense. This year they're losing the offense. So we'll see. I think there's going to be some coaching changes there too on the maybe offensive defensive ends.
Well, congratulations to the Georgia Bulldogs, 2 straight years while winning the national championship.
And now the SEC is 14-3 in playoff games.
In the CFP.
In the college football playoff, the SEC is 14-3.
Which is the best record by far.
Yes. We've won all the championships except for 3.
3. SEC has won 6 of the 9 college football playoff titles.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And they were in the other 3. So that's it. That is college football for the year.
Congratulations to Georgia.
Congratulations to Georgia.
15-0 season.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck next year, Georgia.
Yeah. Yeah, there'll be a lot of coaching changes come up with everything. There'll be a lot of players come and go.
Sorry we didn't have much to talk about because that game could be easily summed up in like a second.
Yeah, you don't want the championship game. I mean, it was over
very early.
10 minutes into the game. I mean, it was 24-7 like that, and you just knew TCU ain't gonna keep up with them. So, the rating of the game was fantastic. Till halfway through the first quarter, and then people changed the channel. So, yeah. But anyways, we hope you had fun this year. We had fun talking about college football. It will be back soon. We'll have some spring games coming up here in March and April probably. And then before we know it, it'll be August. And we'll be warming up, having
Georgia
some more practices.
Georgia will be entering this upcoming season trying to three-peat, which is something that barely anybody's ever done.
I don't know if anybody's ever done it. I mean, Alabama did it.
Georgia's probably the 5th team in the modern era to two-peat.
Mm-hmm.
Could they go for a 3?
Yeah. Cat.
Yes.
Well, anyways, we hope you had a little fun with us. Hope you hang around. We're going to do some more NFL later on. Still got a few more weeks of NFL coming up, but be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button.
Hit the groovy baby button.
Share us with your friends. Hit the groovy baby button. See ya later.
See ya later, I guess.
Later.
Happy off season.
Boo.